You will eat the bugs.
Eating insects could help fight world hunger.
From caterpillars and cockroaches to mealworm-covered apples.
You will live in the pot.
Putting 10 what we call pedestrians into the space. There's no privacy. As you see, there's no curtain, there's no wall.
You will wear the mask.
When I do not have to wear the mask on. No, you have big fucking punk.
You will get the vaccine. You will welcome the refugee. You will celebrate Pride Year.
We'll convert your children.
You will watch the Hollywood movies. You will celebrate diversity. You will watch the pornography.
You want some big fucking cock?
Yes.
It changed. And
So this is where you live. What do you like about it?
You will consume the product. Don't ask questions. Get excited for next product. You will not spread anti-Semitism.
This was posted by a professor at Rutgers University on his Facebook page. There is absolutely no price to pay to openly expresses such vile hate.
You will fight white people.
Look at the belly of the beast and we will gouge it!
You will put your kid on puberty blockers.
Well, you're a boy, right?
No, I'm a girl.
My son started telling me that he had a girl's brain in a boy's body. All of his authority figures telling me he's a girl.
You will send your daughter to Eurovision. You will have no privacy. You will own nothing.
Now is the historical moment, the time to shape the system.
And you will be happy.
It's easy to imagine a future filled with flying cars, holograms, and never-ending viral videos. But as the future of work becomes more and more digital, it becomes harder to grasp what that will actually look like and how we will fit into it.
We have the opportunity to say, like, what is it that really takes the most advantage of people's ingenuity and creativity?
There's always these moments where technology has forced us into a different direction. And in most cases, it's been positive.
You can think of robots and AI as helping you to remove the most redundant parts of your day in your life so you can focus on the higher level thinking. I'm excited about that future.
For the vast majority of us, the workplace is rapidly changing, and it can feel like we're speeding towards the unknown. By 2025, 85 million jobs may be displaced by technological advancements, which is a scary number. But at the same time, 97 million new roles may emerge that will be adapted to a new division of labor between humans, machines, and algorithms. There are a whole host of emerging industries that will create a range of new jobs, just one of which is drone piloting. Andy and Athambi from Wingcopter are using drones to help improve people's lives.
We are currently optimizing supply chains in Malawi, specifically delivering medicine.
Transit is not possible through roads. So drones come in and help poorer and less advantaged people have access to medicine.
And what's really interesting right now with the drone industry is we're seeing drone academies in Benin and Sierra Leone that are essentially addressing the skill gap in Africa when it comes to this high-tech technology.
So I see drone technology being such an emerging market that allows for opportunities, not just in piloting, but in maintenance, in auxiliary staff, and in other sectors.
For many people, automation is a scary word, because they think of machines that are essentially taking away their job. What we all have to realize is that through technology, we are actually going to have better standards, better skilled jobs, more opportunity, and traditional jobs will transition into new and more exciting jobs for the future.
Andy and Nathambi's work is representative of many of these new roles, taking machines and making them work for us. In the same way that workers had to learn how to use the machines and tools in the first industrial revolution, it's going to be up to us to learn how to use the tools of the future in this fourth industrial revolution. That means more people learning how things like software and robots function. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, it just isn't going to fly anymore. People working today will see the share of their core skills change by up to 40% in the next 5 years. Reskilling will become key to this transition. The good news is that it's never been easier to learn new skills. Many companies are prioritizing training to build a secure future for themselves and their employees, with 2 out of 3 expected to see a return on investment in reskilling their workforce. What's more, the internet has made self-education both accessible and affordable. Christo set up creative education company The Future to help people make a living doing what they love.
Everything that you want to learn is available on the internet, and we can explore in ways that are very low risk to us. Because imagine the old approach, which is I have to submit an application to university or college. And so that means there's a whole bunch of prep work I have to do. And even for some people, the admission fees and essays, the barrier to entry is just too high. In this way, I think, especially with all the resources, workshops, courses, ebooks, training, one-on-one mentorship, peer groups, all that kind of stuff, that's available at very low cost. So you can dip your toes into something, find out if this is a good fit for you, and then decide this is where I want to do a deep dive. And you can learn at your own pace, which I love.
Doesn't seem quite as scary now, does it? Still, you'd be forgiven for thinking that the future is going to be all ones and zeros. Although digital literacy is going to be incredibly important, it is in fact the soft skills that are going to be at the core of the average future worker. In a world where hybrid remote working will be more common, self-awareness and self-management will be king. Roles centered around employee well-being and community will become more important, and emotional intelligence will be necessary for managers to provide proper support and foster happier, more fulfilled teams. We may even start to see official certification of these softer skills, allowing for greater freedom to transfer between industries. One of these growing industries will be the care economy. With our ever-growing and aging population, care for the elderly, the vulnerable, and children will become a high priority. In a society that's increasingly putting well-being above other concerns, this sort of job will become more common as investment moves to social infrastructure. Andrea is discovering how investing in robots is making hospital care more human-centered.
Even before the pandemic, we were already seeing the care sector being stretched and there being a renewed focus on how do we really kind of stem the burnout that people are feeling. If you talk to most nurses and clinicians, like the part of their job that they love the most is when they have that kind of deep connection with their patients. And so I think it's great if we can think of ways that automation like Moxie, taking away some of the mundane delivery tasks, can kind of open up more time for the parts of a person's job that they really love. Yeah, there may end up being more and more interactions that patients have with automation and technology. But in the end, that caregiving experience that you have that's really person to person, I don't see how that's ever going to go away.
As you can see, far from the uncaring image of technology in science fiction, it can actually increase our capacity to take care of each other. It can also help us to care for our planet. In the coming years, climate action is going to need to kick into overdrive, and this means 2 things: innovation and new jobs. Just one example of these jobs is coral farming. With more coral reefs dying off each year, coral restoration is more important than ever. But the current process is labor-intensive and requires an advanced skill set. However, people like Stephen are using technology to open up these coral farming roles to a wider group.
Charm is a device that allows coral restoration practitioners the ability to grow thousands to hopefully millions of coral by the touch of a button. This robot will have on board the artificial intelligence and the ability to clean coral, feed coral when they're hungry, identify pests, and do the general maintenance tasks that a lot of people need to do but don't quite have the time or resources.
There is a growing need for people to be working in this space for green technology, for sustainable practices. What we actually need is a group of people to say, this is the kind of future that we want, where we integrate technology with the environment, and we flourish. And we want to have a job in an industry that promotes thriving.
The future of work is coming. For some, it's already here. It can be a bright future, a future that can improve our well-being and the well-being of the planet. So while automation can sound scary, with careful regulation and policies that promote equal opportunities and inclusion, there are ways it can make our working lives happier, more effective, more human.
What's good, YouTube? It's RPU here, back again with another video. And guys, our society is changing right before our very eyes. Out with the physical economy and in with the digital economy. Joe Biden's Green New Deal and Build Back Better plan is going to fundamentally change America as we know it. The price of gas is over $6 a gallon in California. Gas stations in Washington are reprogramming their pumps to get ready for double-digit prices. If gas hits $10 a gallon in Washington, it will probably hit $15 a gallon in California. There's a lot of people who commute to work on a daily basis. At what point does America break? When these people can no longer afford to go to work, what will they do? Well, they should just buy a $60,000 electric car, according to Pete Buttigieg and Stephen Colbert, right? Yeah, right. The high price of diesel will only make supply chain issues worse. And on top of that, the Fed is about to force a recession to try to get inflation down. Many people will lose their jobs, their homes, their life savings, everything. Mass unemployment, poverty, and despair will cause many people to look for a way to escape. But many will join the Metaverse to try to find a way to make a living. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. May 29th, 2022 from Johnny Liu in Cointelegraph. In the economy 3.0, metaverses will create jobs for millions. Metaverse job opportunities will likely exceed our expectations, with many keeping the same job even after transition to virtual space. Wow, that's crazy. So if you were a doctor in the real world, you could be a doctor in the digital world. If you worked for construction in the real world, you could be a construction worker in the digital world. Whatever you were doing in the real world, you will do it in the digital world. And the crazy part is that people will prefer the digital world over the real world. They're going to be plugged into the real life matrix. And our life is becoming more and more like Ready Player One every day. It's crazy. Job creation is traditionally engineered by politicians desperate to get the country back to work and to be seen as stimulating the economy. From the job creation programs of the Great Depression to United States President Barack Obama's American Jobs Act, employment schemes have a long checkered history. Today, fostering meaningful employment for the masses remains as popular as ever with policymakers, and yet, the next great job creation scheme is unlikely to be issued as a top-down order. Rather, it will emanate from a realm that most politicians have little dominion over and few powers to control: the Metaverse. That virtual world running parallel to our physical one is not constrained by national borders, nor is it the fiefdom of social media companies cynically commandeering its name. The Metaverse comprises an interconnected series of virtual worlds in which humankind can recreate, interact, and transact. As avatars, its users are free to flip between games, meeting spaces, and markets, reenacting many of the tasks once constrained to meat space. Is that what they call the real world now? Meat space? The greatest promise the Metaverse holds, however, It's not the ability for humans to don lurid skins and twerk as one in virtual concert halls. Who's doing that? Rather, it is for these same people to obtain meaningful employment in worlds, realms, and spaces across the metaverse that will form the beating heart of Web3. You see that? Meaningful employment. People are going to find work and life's fulfillment in the metaverse. I don't know how you feel about that. Are you excited? Does it feel dystopian? Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. But life in the real world is going to become so depressing, so totalitarian as governments begin to crack down on their citizens. Poverty is rising. Inflation is off the charts. People are going to be looking for a way to escape. And in the metaverse, not only will they find escapism, but they will find meaningful employment, life fulfillment in the work that they do in the metaverse. How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments. Making bank in the metaverse. That's what I'm talking about. Making bank. Given the amorphous nature of the metaverse, it can be hard to envision what a virtual world in which millions clock in and out to earn their crust might resemble. If you ever seen Ready Player One, you know exactly what it looks like. As it happens though, there is already work being performed in fledgling metaverses, the virtual world over. So people are already working in the metaverses right now. In the play to earn or GameFi sector, virtual pets roam freely with their human owners petting, dressing, and training them. But it's not just about recreation. With their respective metaverses, players can collect tokens and other in-game assets that spawn and trade them for real money. Wow. So they're making money playing video games. Workers from developing countries such as the Philippines earn around $30 a day for performing these tasks on behalf of owners, using the creatures to collect tokens. Owners, in turn, earn money from lending out their stable of virtual pets without needing to concern themselves with the drudgery of collecting tokens all day. Wow, what game is that where they're making $30 a day just playing with digital pets? And these people, the people that have the pets, they don't even have to play with the digital pets. They just lend them out and they just sit back and let the money come in. I mean, $30 a day, that's pretty good if that's, I don't know if they're making that in passive income or if they're doing it full time. I mean, that's not good full time, but $30 a day, 30 days in a month, I mean, that's $900 a month. That could pay for your rent, And, well, could pay for my rent. I don't know if it could pay for your rent with inflation so damn high, but, I mean, $30 a day, 30 days in a month, $900 a month. That's pretty good in passive income. I mean, these days, you have to have multiple streams of income. One income stream is not going to cut it anymore. And like they said in that World Economic Forum video, teaching an old dog, not being able to teach an old dog new tricks, that's not going to fly anymore. People are going to have to adapt to their environment as it changes. And the necessity to go digital becomes reality. And it's becoming reality really fast. Now, they say that this is a simple economy in which all participants benefit commensurate with their interests and financial expectations. How might this earning model work for metaverse participants higher up the chain? Well, if they could take the good things about GameFi, like the engagement, and put those qualities into the metaverse, people will never want to leave. Like, you'll never want to leave the metaverse. You'll want to be plugged in all the time because it'll be so engaging. You'll be able to earn a living from it. You'll be able to do things that you couldn't do in the real world. And that's what's going to make it so appealing to the masses. It says, well, for celebrities and creators, specialist platforms enable virtual experiences to be entertained in the metaverse. Fans can pay to interact with their favorite creators within a virtual world, whether they're playing golf with a YouTube influencer or learning new skills through a one-on-one with a thought leader. It's yet another example of the vast potential the metaverse holds. So like if you're like, you know, you're selling courses online on how to make money online or how to make money in the metaverse, and you know, you're building up your fan base, and you could have one-on-one conference consultations within the metaverse. Like they said, you could be golfing, you know, talking business in the virtual world, or you could be on the beach somewhere or at a bar, or you could even be in a conference room in the metaverse if you wanted to, you know, try to bring some realistic sense to it. But there's so much potential for celebrities, creators. It's just, the possibilities are endless because you're not constrained to the realities of the real world. Meta work for the masses. Not all of the work centered around the metaverse will occur within it. Much of it will involve connecting the nuts and bolts that keep it turning: coders, designers, testers, and developers. For the millions currently employed in offices and on shop floors around the globe, however, the ascendancy of the metaverse will see their work transition to a virtual world not so dissimilar to that which they are accustomed. So, whatever you were doing in the real world, you're going to be able to do that in the digital world. And it won't be that much different. The graphics will probably be so good, you probably won't even be able to tell the difference between the real world and the digital world. That's crazy. Let's talk about real estate in the metaverse. Virtual land is already selling for millions of dollars in the metaverse world, such as the Sandbox and Decentraland, which we're going to talk about in this video. The battle for desirable virtual real estate is fierce. Flipping pixels for profit is a specialist role that will create a slew of jobs for those with an eye for a prime plot. At the same time, real-world property will also transition to the metaverse, enabling prospective buyers to quote-unquote walk around a beachfront condo on the other side of the world, or ALGO, one that is still in spec. In a virtual world where anything is possible, try before you buy is the norm. Wow, so we're going to have digital real estate agents in the metaverse selling plots of digital land. That's crazy. But if you were a real estate agent in the real world, it will come natural to you, you know? And it's just crazy to me because people are spending millions of dollars on digital land when I just can't see myself doing that when I don't have land in the real world. I mean, this is where the disconnect comes in, because like people will have mega mansions or whatever in the metaverse, but when they unplug and come back to reality, they're still living in their real world situation. You know, I'm living in a studio apartment. You know, I could have the biggest house in the metaverse, all I want, right? But when I unplug and I come back to the real world and reality, I'm still in this studio apartment. So I just don't understand how people could spend millions of dollars on fake property when they don't even have real property, you know? But the try before you buy experience is cool because like they're going to be mixing this in with real world property. So like you could go, let's say you want to go to a open house, right? A house is for sale, like they said, on the other side of the planet that you're interested in purchasing, right? Let's say travel is suspended in the real world. You know, gas prices are so high, people are unable to travel. You know, commercial airlines are non-existent, and the only people that get to travel in the real world are the rich. It's possible. But let's say you just don't have the time or the money to go see this house in person. You could visit and showcase the house in the metaverse, and you will be able to see. They're saying you could walk around a beachfront condo and see it exactly how it is in the metaverse, like it is in the real world. And the crazy part is, like, you'll be able to, like, see your furniture in there, or see what it looks like. You know, you could, like, upload your furniture and stuff into the house just to see what it would look like. And that's so crazy, right? Because you will be able to, like, really try before you buy. You know, you'll be able to go to a car lot. Let's say you want to get a Rolls Royce. You will be able to go to the car lot and drive the luxury car in the metaverse. Try before you buy. I mean, is that kind of like cheapening or shortchanging the experience? To me, yeah. But some people see it as convenient, you know? You won't have to get up and go to the car lot if you want to buy the car. You can just try it before you buy it in the digital world. You'll probably be able to drive it and everything. It's crazy when you think about it. Let's talk about fashion in the metaverse. From Louis Vuitton to Nike and Gucci, fashion brands are clamoring to catch a slice of the metaverse action, and it's easy to see why. A world in which millions mingle while represented as avatars provides endless opportunities of sartorial splendor. No longer are people constrained by gender, body type, and indeed, imagination when dressing. In the metaverse, you can assume any identity you want with the accessories to match. Models will strut their stuff on virtual catwalks, and fashionistas will pay top dollar to dress their avatars in limited edition threads from the hippest brands. Wow. So, in the metaverse, not only can you work whatever job you want, but you can be whatever identity you want to identify with, which is a liberal paradise. You can identify as a man, woman, cat lady. When I say cat lady, I'm talking about the Khajiits in Skyrim, because that's what I used to call them when my sister used to play. But you could be whatever you want. You could identify as fat, skinny, anorexic, normal, thin, athletic. You could be the Hulk if you wanted to. Right? And this no longer puts constraints on the clothes that you can wear, because it'll be all digital, right? You could be the Hulk, but Gucci could like custom make shirts and pants for the Hulk, you know, because it won't matter, because it'll just be ones and zeros. But also in the future, you will be able to buy these brands and have them delivered to your house. It's crazy. But all I'm going to say is, like, when you're in the metaverse, you got to be careful who you talk to in the metaverse, because people may not be exactly what they seem, you know? I mean, just because someone identifies as female in the metaverse does not mean that there could be a female on the other end of that avatar, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, just be careful who you talk to in the metaverse. Let's talk about music in the metaverse. As much a boon to independent artists as it is to major labels, the metaverse showed its worth during global lockdowns, with over 27 million fans tuning in to Travis Scott's Fortnite concert in 2020. Enterprising artists have already experimented with Web3 technologies such as non-fungible tokens, NFTs, using them to release limited edition and exclusive albums to foster intimate experiences and to get all of their royalties. The emergence of a fully immersive metaverse will elevate this capability to a new level, providing endless ways to monetize and engage with fans. Yeah, you could have, if you're an artist, you could have exclusive behind the scenes or backstage access videos. You know, like you're just recording your experiences backstage and stuff. You could turn that into an NFT and sell it and earn royalties. I mean, the possibilities are endless. They really are. Let's talk about movies in the metaverse. Technology is a double-edged sword, creating new opportunities while destroying others. Tell me about it. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people. Actors who found their likeness being assumed by artificial intelligence and their intellectual property infringed know this only too well. But the very same tech that threatens their livelihoods can be utilized to enrich them within the metaverse. Just imagine the capabilities presented by a world in which voice, television, and movie actors can use their digitized doppelgangers to interact with fans and sell experiences that incorporate one-on-one time without the celeb needing to leave the comfort of their Malibu mansion. Wow. So imagine if you could like have one-on-one with your favorite celebrity, you know? Let's say like, what if you were to be able to like recreate your favorite scene from a movie with your favorite celebrity, and you would be able to like enact and live out that movie scene? That would be crazy. Like I'm saying, like the possibilities are endless. Now it says, as the metaverse materializes and its promise becomes a reality, the employment opportunities it offers will lift everyone from the mechanical Turk toiling for $2 per hour to the rich and famous. Already, there are metaverse stores you can visit with your avatar to order everything from fast food to medical marijuana. That's crazy. And then have it delivered to your real world front door. Wow, that's insane. In the near future, many of those earning from the metaverse, such as delivery drivers and food producers, may have no inkling that they owe their livelihood to a world they have yet to discover. Wow. So you may actually be doing delivery jobs and food producing jobs in the metaverse. Isn't that crazy? You could be working for DoorDash in the metaverse. That sounds crazy, but this is the future. You will be able to go to your favorite fast food restaurant in the metaverse, order online, and have the food delivered to your house. That's crazy. And like, most likely, it may be delivered by drone, because that's what the World Economic Forum told us. That's crazy. You know, you order a Big Mac combo and then you have a drone fly up to your door and drop it on your doorstep. That sounds crazy, but this is the future. Not all of us will interact in the metaverse, but just like the internet itself, we will be more prosperous because of its existence. The sooner the metaverse becomes a mass reality, the better we will all be. That's what Johnny Lou says, but let me know what you think. Do you think we'll be better off with the metaverse? Do you think it will bring us together, or do you think it will make us only more divisive, more reclusive? I think that this has a lot of potential. Like, people will be able to make money, but people are going to lose the human connection and the aspects which make us human, you know? Being able to talk to people face to face. I mean, you could do that on a Zoom call, but it's just not the same, you know? Interacting with people face to face, you know? We'll be able to do all of the favorite things that we like to do in the metaverse, but it's just not real. You know? I mean, you know, with movies, I mean, you maybe even be able to go to a movie theater and watch a movie in the metaverse. Like, that could be something that people might enjoy. I mean, I love going to the movies, but now when you go to the movies, you have to wear a mask, and I don't like that. Like, it's already hard to breathe in a mask, and so like, imagine like being able to skip all of that, go to the movies, go to your favorite movie theater in the metaverse, and you don't even have to wear a mask. But it's like, you're not even, are you even at the movies? It's not even a it's not a real movie theater. But the metaverse and GameFi could be so immersive and the graphics could be so real that you won't even be able to tell the difference. It's crazy, you know? And you may have people working at that movie theater, you know, passing out digital tickets or whatever the case may be. But the future is crazy. In the future, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs in the near future, and they're going to be desperate. A lot of people are going to be searching for ways to make money. And people are going to jump into the metaverse head first looking for job opportunities. It's crazy. It's crazy, but this is the future that we live in. Let me know what you think about all this. Because meta work is coming for the masses. Meta work is coming for the masses. Hopefully, all of us, you guys that are subscribed to this channel, you will be getting rich and you won't have to work in the metaverse. You will, you know, enjoy the metaverse for whatever reason you want to enjoy it. But the majority of people, they're going to become digital wage slaves. I mean, some people will excel and become millionaires in the metaverse. But a lot of people will just be digital wage cucks. It's crazy. But guys, I wanted to show you this. Coinbase Assets. This is a tweet from Coinbase Assets. They said Coinbase will add support for the Sandbox Sand token. Inbound transfers for this asset are now available on Coinbase and the Coinbase exchange in the regions where trading is supported. Trading will begin on or after 9 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday, May 26th, if liquidity conditions are met. So guys, Coinbase listing this Sand token, this creates an opportunity for people to make real money or real income in the sandbox. See, you could go plug yourself into the sandbox game. I've never played it, right? But you could play this game, earn Sand tokens, and you can now cash them out in Coinbase and send that money to your bank account. So like this game right here, this virtual reality, this metaverse is creating income opportunities, job opportunities that people are gravitating towards. Just imagine being able to work remotely from home, make money anywhere, playing in the sandbox. That's our future. Let me know what you think about all this. This is RPU, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Again, I think that the biggest question maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to do with all these useless people. The problem is more boredom and what to do with them, and how will they find some sense of meaning in life when they are basically meaningless, worthless. My best guess at present is a combination of drugs and computer games as a solution for more. It's already happening under different titles, different headings. You see more and more people spending more and more time or solving their inner problems with drugs and computer games, both legal drugs and illegal drugs. You look at Japan today, and Japan is maybe 20 years ahead of the world in everything, and you see all these new social phenomenon of people having relationships with virtual spouses. And you have people who never leave the house and just live through computers.